Untold Every Day. Real people, raw stories.
It was a Friday night, past midnight, the kind of humid, sticky summer night in Richmond where the air just hangs heavy. I got a ping for a pickup downtown, right by one of the grungier dive bars. The profile pic was a little blurry, but I needed the cash, so whatever. When I pulled up, there's this guy leaning against the streetlight, almost blending into the shadow. Tall, lanky, wearing a dark hoodie. Even thought it was sweltering. He barely acknowledged me, and then he just got in the back, mumbling an address about something Henrico. The whole ride was silent. Just the hum of the AC and the low turn of the engine. I tried to make small talk. Rough night? Or something stupid, but he just grunted. About 10 minutes into the ride, we were on a stretch of road. Isolated at that hour, just woods on both sides. I glanced at the rearview mirror, trying to catch his eye, maybe get a read on him. Nothing, just a dark hoodie. I swear for a second I thought he was sleeping. His head tilted weirdly. I looked back at the road for a moment, just navigating the slight curve. When I looked back in the mirror, he was gone. Completely gone. My blood ran cold. My foot went to the brake immediately. I pulled over to the side of the road, just heart pounding against my ribs. I looked in the back seat, half expecting to see him slumped over. Empty. I checked the doors. Both were closed. The windows were up and there was nowhere he could have gone. I even got out of the car, looked around. The road was empty. Nothing. Just crickets and the humid night air. I checked my app. The trip was still active. The destination was still showing. I even had a passenger picked up notification. I ended the trip, rated him 1 star, and drove home in a daze. I kept replaying it in my head. Did he just evaporate? Or did I just imagine him? I don't know. I hadn't been drinking, but maybe I was tired. I felt like something out of a horror movie. To this day, I can't explain it. I sometimes drive that road and just get this shiver down my spine. Like maybe he's still out there. This happened late on Tuesday, around 1 a.m., when I was doing a few extra runs in Fredericksburg. Got a request from a residential area. Seemed normal enough, and when I pulled up, it was a kid, maybe 16 or 17 tops. Skinny, nervous, wearing a low-faded t-shirt and cargo shorts. He had this weird energy about him, like he was wired. He got in the front seat, which always throws me off a little. Said he was going to a house about 15 minutes away. Another quiet neighborhood. The ride started out quiet. It was just focused on the road, and then I heard this little snick. I look over in his lap. He had this small folding knife, blade open. Not like a fancy hunting knife, more like a utility knife. But it was definitely a blade. He was just tracing the edge of it with his thumb. Not looking at me, just staring out the window. My stomach dropped. I tried to stay calm, act like I had never seen it. But my hands were gripping the steering wheel so tight my knuckles were white. "Everything all right, man?" I tried to keep my voice even. He didn't answer right away. He just kept running his thumb along the blade. Then real quiet he said, "Yeah, just gotta take care of some things." That's when my mind started racing. Is he gonna rob me? Is he gonna hurt someone at the address? Is he in trouble? I started thinking about escape routes, about swerving the car, about anything. My heart was pounding, so I thought he'd hear it. I kept glancing at him out of the corner of my eye. He never raised the knife, never looked directly at me with it, but it was there, open in his lap. The longest 15 minutes of my life. Every time I looked at it in the rearview mirror, I expected to see another car, maybe a police car, but there was nothing. When we finally pulled up to the address, he just said, "Thanks," and got out of the car, closed the door, and walked up to the house, clutching his knife and disappeared into the shadows. I watched him go, then drove off, practically peeling out. I didn't report it. What would I even say? A kid had a knife in my car. But that feeling of the cold metal threat of it still haunts me. I still wonder what things he had to take care of that night. This one happened out near Lake Anna, probably about an hour or so drive from me. It was a Saturday night, and I was trying to rack up some extra cash. Got a request from an address way off the beaten path, down a long, unpaved road. The GPS signal was spotty out there, and I was starting to feel a little uneasy as I drove deeper into the woods. Finally, I reached this little clearing. There was no house, just this old, torn-down barn barely standing, and a few cars parked around it. And a lot of people, like maybe 24, were all dressed in these long, dark robes. Even though it was humid, and they were all standing in circles, facing inward and chanting something low and guttural, it wasn't English, and it definitely wasn't anything I recognized. The air smelled thick, like something burning. Not wood, but something else. Something terrible. My app confirmed that this was the pickup location, and my passenger was just listed as Gabriel. So I pulled up slow, and the chant stopped, and every single person in that circle turned their heads and looked at me in unison. That was a little weird, and I started my car. Their faces were expressionless, unblinking. I felt this wave of dread wash over me. This wasn't a party. It felt and looked like something else. Then one of the figures, a taller one, broke from the circle and started walking toward my car. He was wearing the same dark robe, and his face was obscured by the deep hood. As he got closer, I could feel my heart pounding in my ears. Every instinct screamed at me to get out of there, to put the car in reverse and floor it. But I was frozen. He got into the passenger door without a word, just opened it. I couldn't see his face. He just stood there, waiting. I glanced at the back seat, then at him. My brain screamed, cold, ritual, run. I took a deep breath and forced myself to speak. Uber for Gabriel. My voice came out a little shaky. He just nodded, slowly not speaking, still not showing his face. The silence from the rest of the roped figures were deafening. They were still staring, and I knew, without a shadow of a doubt, I couldn't let him get in my car. I couldn't. My hands were shaking so bad I could barely press the button. I'm sorry, I stammered. I think there's been a mistake. I can't pick you up. And then this deep, raspy voice from under the hood. No mistake. I didn't argue. I hit cancel trip so fast my finger hurt. I put the car in reverse, tires spinning the gravel, and I got out of there, clearing as fast as I could in this old sedan would go. I looked back until I was miles down the road. I still didn't know what was happening in that barn or who Gabriel really was, but I never took another late night pickup out in the boonies again. Some things are just too
Side-eye in your closet. Do me a favor. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you'll never miss a tale untold every day.